hopping and a bopping and a singing his song. All the little birds on J.
Hey guys, I'm gonna introduce flip-thru, and you're gonna see my face, not just my hands. So, here we go.
Tree. The wise old owl, the big black crow, flap of their wings, sing and go, bird, go, rockin' robin, sweet, sweet, rockin' robin.
Hey crafty babes, it's Andrea, retrohipmama here, and I'm back with another flip-thru video. It's been a while. I started adding all kinds of weeks to my album and realized it's been weeks since we talked last and since I shared last. So I have 6 weeks to show you. I have many, many more than that, but I can only share up to week 21. Being on a design team is a little tricky because I'm using future kits that you guys haven't seen yet, and using them on previous weeks and months. So I can't share them yet, but eventually I will. So we're gonna work through weeks 15 through 21. I've got a ton of stuff, some pocket pages, some full page layouts, some half page layouts, using a lot of cool stuff. So let's get started. So this is week 15, and it's a full 12 by 12 and then half of a design A. I do this a lot. I tend to just chop the design A in half. So it does feel like a bit of a waste when I do that, but because I have so many design A's that I feel like it's cheaper for me than buying a new set of just whatever the design is that's the half page. So I'm just doing that for now, and when it fits the number of pictures I have, I'll do that. This layout is, it just was one of my favorites. The black and the reds were really fun, and the blues. So I have this set from, there's a dog nose. There's a dog nose in my video. This is Charlie making a little snout appearance. Well, hopefully she'll be good while I do this. But this is a Lori Whitlock kit by Echo. Is it Echo Park? Yeah, Echo Park did this one. It's gorgeous. It's called This Is Family, and it's got this gorgeous red, blue, and pink thing going on. So it really fit well with like the red and Marshall shirt and the black and white my shoes and this blue picture I took at the lake. So for the title date card, I used a little film strip and put the week and the week number in those two things, and used a really old kit that happened to have a month that I could use, and a label, and I just stamped the dates there, the date range. And I actually used a lot of labels in this one, so they just make it so easy to write just a little sentiment. So this card has some fun layers. Excuse me. I put the frame opposite of the direction of the photo because I wanted some of the background to show through, and I wanted the photo to stick out of the frame a little bit, so I just turned it the other way. And then I just did some simple layering, put a little piece underneath, put a piece on top with some pop dots so that it gave a little dimension, and the same thing with the number 2, and I did the 2 because it was just the 2 of them. It was just Charlie and Marshall finally getting along in the mornings. It took them quite a couple months to learn how to be around each other. So that was a really nice morning, seeing Charlie just sit with Marshall and just relax. So then there's just some other cards on this side from the kit, a 4x6 and a 3x4. These are already pre-done, pre-made. I didn't add anything to them. And then I just took this one card and layered a couple of elements on top and called it done, and that was it. The same week I did another half page on the other side, and this I found from Pinterest and actually cut it down and had a little background on the back. I actually have a process video for this. Check out a few videos back and you'll probably find it. So it's a quick one. And ooh, there's also a process video for this one. I completely forgot. So this is a full page layout, but that's not in a sheet protector or a page protector. I just left it out and punched the holes directly into the layout. There is a process video on this, so you can check that out as well. And it's just kind of the things that Gibson's into right now, being a teenager. And the kit that I'm using here is the Soundtrack of My Life. I think that's what it's called. I forget, but I will link it up. And it's by Tickled Pink Studio. So when I was on her design team, I grabbed this kit because it was so fun, having the little mixtape and all the things about music. I knew I was going to find a way to use it all. And on the other side is another full page layout that's just dedicated to Gibson and Charlie. And this was a really, really fun layout to do because it was just different for me. I had never, well, I can't say never. I used to traditional scrapbook exclusively before I went to pocket scrapbooking. So getting back into the traditional roots is really fun for me. So I shifted everything to an angle to just add a little bit of interest. And I used some old, I used scraps from like a gift bag. So, you know, like a goodie bag. They're just like a paper bag, but has a design on it. And then this is an actual brown paper bag. I cut some and tore some just to add some layers. And then I used some other brown craft kind of colors, and then just a little pop of the mustard. Because I wanted it to be a little boyish, but Charlie's a girl, so it gives me an excuse to do some girly colors too. So this is another layout, full page layout that I completed and tossed in here. I found these chipboard stickers at a scrapbook store in Phoenix when I was there visiting my parents, and I cannot for the life of me tell you who it's by. I completely punched out all of the stickers and then put them in a bag so that I could store them easily, and didn't keep any of the packaging. So if I have a moment and I can try to find the manufacturer, but I don't even know the name of it. I don't know the manufacturer name, and I don't know the name of the design, so sorry about that. But you can still take a concept like this with any supplies and replicate, or you know, do something similar. So these are just photos of a vintage dress that I purchased. I purchased it and then I didn't wear it for an entire year, and the reason is because it was too long. And so I'm kind of short. I'm only 5'3", but this dress went below my knees. And that it's not very flattering for me because I have short legs. So when I went to Arizona, I brought the dress with me so that my mom could help me hem it. And once she hemmed it and it was above my knees, which is more flattering and makes me feel less frumpy, it totally worked. So I took a little photo shoot when I got home just because I wanted to show my mom what it looked like, and I loved it, and I wanted to remember wearing this dress, and I love this dress. It's a sack dress. It's a vintage 80s dress. It's got these beautiful capped sleeves, and it was pricey, so it's like probably the most expensive dress I've ever bought. Not that it's like a $200 dress, but just I wouldn't normally pay $65 for a dress. So to me, it's completely 100% my personality, and really, really, really needed that dress in my life. So anyway, paired it with some gold and green, and just kind of threw some stuff on here and worked the gold around. And I just had fun documenting a little bit about that dress. Nothing over here at the moment, so I might take something that matches like this green and red and gold and just do a layout, maybe a pictureless layout, just to get some cards in here, just so that it's not empty. But I haven't filled it in yet. Okay, so week 16. Week 16 is using a lot of the Gossamer Blue kit from April. Is it April? Probably. I'm going to have to go back and check. It's been so long since I worked on these. But really, I don't think there's anything on this layout except for maybe like this strip of paper and these letters and maybe this star and this washi tape that don't come from that one kit. So what I love about the Gossamer Blue kits is that this is just the Life Pages kit. So even just within one kit, you can, grab like something like this and pull so many different colors, or you can take one color and, work around just the one color and have it be a more muted layout. So, it's just very versatile, and it just allows for so much creativity. So anyway, this is a design F. So, but I've cut the end side off of it so that it's just a 9x12. And just because that's what I needed to do to work with the pictures I had. And so let's see what else. Oh, so the title card, which at this point, and since I've started, my title weekly card has always gone to the top left corner. Like, I think that's just how it was done originally, how everybody does it. And lately I've been seeing them in the middle, like it would be here instead, or maybe it would be, this photo. I mean, instead of a photo being here, it would be the title card. So I haven't started doing that yet. And every time I see somebody do it now, like on Instagram or through Pinterest, I really am inspired to do that, because it's a little out of the box, right? I mean, it's something different, and maybe instead of having your eye start from the top left corner and work its way down and around, maybe it needs to start in the middle, and then work its way out. I guess it would just be a feeling, of where things fit and flow with the colors, but that's something I'm very inspired to do. And then on the other side here, just some photos of some friends we had over, longtime friends. So I just wanted to document that, and the colors worked perfectly since we were outside, and there was this beautiful green grass at the time when we had grass, and the kids were having a blast. Week 17. This was a really, really fun layout, and a layout that has colors that are really out of my comfort zone. I don't do much of the muted colors, so I had to work really hard to stick with that throughout. So of course I added some turquoise in because it just felt, like more my style. But this was a really fun one. So it's always a challenge also to use different page layouts. So I recently picked up this We Are Memory Keepers one, and it's got the 4 3x4s and then 6 4x4s. So, everybody's always short on 4x6 cards, because in any given kit, you're probably going to get maybe 4 or 6 4x6s, but you're going to get 1,000 3x4s. So nobody has a shortage of 3x4s. I'm certain of it. But a page like this requires either full pages of cardstock or pattern paper, or 4x6s that you cut down. So it is a bit challenging to do a layout like this, just because you're either going to use your 4x6 photos and cut them down, which is fine if that works. But it added a little bit of thought. I had to really plan it out before I made anything permanent, which is all part of what I love about this craft, is that there is structure and there is freedom at the same time. And I like the planning parts. I like, and I don't sketch things out or pre-plan what my layouts are going to be like. When I mean plan, I just mean I sit down and I pick cards and I pick pictures and I put them around and I make sure that there's not two similar pictures touching. I don't like too much dark in one place or too much light in one place or too many of the same colors touching, just because it's aesthetically pleasing to be able to have like this, where you look and see all the different colors and it's not just saturated in one area. So it's just part of the process that I love, is picking the colors and picking the embellishments to go along with it. When I get to the point where I start to glue things down, it's where I get a little sad sometimes, because then I'm almost done. But then I get to move on to new layouts. So because this week went into this week directly and I didn't have anything in between it, and the photos that I needed over here could not fit in this style of a layout, I just started a new spread. And so I think with this being open, I might utilize some of the extra I Am collection by Simple Stories and just make, like I said a couple of minutes ago, and just make a photoless layout. We'll see how that goes. But I am ending up with a few more empty pages than I normally would, just because I'm being a little more creative with the page styles that I'm using, so they don't always translate perfectly to the next week. But that's okay. I'm not gonna stress out about that. Another one of my really, really, really favorite layouts. I just these colors are super, super bright and fun and inspired by the I Am collection. And there's a lot happened this week. This was we got some bad news about a job Matt was looking for. My mother had a stroke, which was awful and terrible. She's doing much better. But it was just a lot. There was a lot going on. Some happy things. The son of a good friend of ours was drafted to the NFL in the second round. So super shock that he went so early, and very proud. And so it rained, it didn't rain, it was we saw Avengers, there was just so much going on, but I was really happy that I was able to gather the photos from that week and find a nice color scheme that complemented all of the photos. So yeah, this was a good one. Anywho, okay, so this is, what week was this? This was, oh boy, now I'm losing it. I'm losing it, guys. Okay, this was week 17. So I think, oh, there it is. Week 18. And this is going to be week 19. Oh, there it is. What was fun about this layout is that I had a lot of really neutral photos. So the photos I had for the week really weren't color heavy. So I was able to do some really neutral cards to go along with it, and then some pops of color. So like this black and white photo, this one's got some green in it, but in some neutrals, but that way all the colors that I picked could complement it. So, and these two layouts don't necessarily go together. They do have some red in common, and that's fine, and a little bit of the green. It's a different green, but they could be completely independent of each other, and I'd be okay with that. They're not always full page, the full 12 by 24, but that's what we got for this week. Oh, this was my very first layout, my very first pocket layout for Gossamer Blue as a design team member. And I did a process video and introduction for this kit, their Life Pages kit. If you want to go back and check that out, it's on my YouTube channel as well. Okay, we're moving on. All right, this is one of my very favorites. I say that about a lot of them. Is it okay that I really like my own layouts that much? I guess it's okay that I do. Or else why would I want to keep doing them, right? But this layout uses Gossamer Blue's June kit. I wasn't a design team member then, but I really wish I was, because this turned out so great using all the colors. So it's just full. It's full of stuff. So one thing that I really like to do when there's kind of extreme weather, or just to document the weather in general, sometimes I will take a screenshot of the Doppler radar thing from my weather app, and then I just documented about this crazy storm that came through, and just a little photo of Matt and I running weekend errands. We finished Breaking Bad, so I just did a little 4x4 about that, and then just some photos of just the regular stuff and everyday stuff. And that's so much what this craft and hobby is about, is documenting the little things. Like when it rains, our yard gets flooded with snails, and sometimes they're together, or they're just little tiny little babies. They're so cute. So I got down real low and got this cool picture of these two little snails before they wandered off. And I'm not sure how long any of you've been, if any of you follow me on Instagram, but my oldest son Gibson and I have a little running joke with each other using this name tag. He brought it home from church one day because a friend of his, whose name is not William, wrote that his name was William on his name tag. And it was a joke, then at church, and then somebody stuck it to Gibson, and Gibson brought it home, and he tried to stick it to me, and it was like this back and forth joke, back and forth little thing, that for a couple minutes that we were trying to, stick this name tag on each other's backs. And then I think he left it on me, and I just let it go, and then I put it in his shoe. And then he found it, and he hid it somewhere. So since then, since May, since this was just the most recent one, sorry, since, gosh, I don't even know how long it's been, but we have hid it where each other can find it, in really silly places. I even put it in the mail and mailed it back to our house so that it was addressed to him, and he could open it, and it was a little card that had the name tag in it. So this is something that I really hope continues for a long, long time between the two of us. It's really fun and special. But the most recent one was he put it on my big, huge paper clip, or big clothespin, and placed it right there in front of me. He didn't even hide it. So it's just kind of cute. Okay, so we're gonna move to week 21, and this is the last week, but there's several pages that go along with this week. Again, using mostly June's kit from Gossamer Blue, and then but kind of taking the muted color. So I really needed to pull from the slime color, and the yellow from the chip. So those were my two, well, hello Charlie. Hello, would you like to go outside? Would you like to go outside? Here, let me open the door for you. Yes, go ahead, just step on over. Come on, go ahead. Okay. So pulling from the yellow and the green was basically this, this card. it's got the Monday through Sunday. So and since there really was so much going on this week, there was literally a picture for almost every day. So it was really easy for me to use this card because I could just give a real quick little note about the days without having to put something on every single photo, just because it already was feeling really busy with there being a lot of photos. So I figured that was an easy way to just kind of sum it up. And I did like one or two little things just on each photo to add a little something to them. And then the big letters here are from the July, one of the add-on kits, from the July Gossamer Blue set. So those were really fun to work with. I usually don't do titles that are that big, but having those big, huge letters was so much fun. All right, and I got a little crazy over here with the embellishments. I struggle very much with clustering. I'm practicing, but like something like this, it's a little more comfortable for me. Like just doing one or two or three things together. But the way that some people put together these gorgeous clusters of labels and tags and stickers and stamps and wood veneers and enamel dots, it blows my mind how gorgeous they are. And I'm lacking in that area, not my strength, but I know what my strengths are and I know where my weaknesses are, so I will continue to practice and work on those kind of clustering things, but it may not ever end up being as gorgeous as some of the other girls, but that's okay. And I know what I'm good at, and that's something that's also really important about a craft like this, is there's so much inspiration, and it does feel like it turns into competition, but we really can't think of it like that. We really have to be comfortable in our own design style and how we get things on a page. So often we love to pull from other people and what they can create, but don't feel like you can't make it your own. And that's something that I really want to stress. This is your album, and you get to make it however you want. And I can guarantee you that in 20 years, when your family is looking at your album, they're not going to compare it to somebody else's. So don't do that while you're creating. Just create and have fun. That's what it's about. Getting all the stuff down, having a good time. All right, so I actually hadn't intended on using any of these photos. So when I do a layout, I will, lay all the photos out. I'll decide which ones I'm going to use, and the other ones get put into a little pile. And these photos all got put into that other pile. And then I kind of started, thumbed through them to just go to put them in my little box that I keep of photos that I didn't scrap, and I thought, oh well, there's something I could do. They kind of all have a similar kind of thing. So there was like the green straw and the green trees, and then Charlie, and there was some gray in Marshall's thing, and I thought, let me just see if I can put them together, because I was sad about having to not be able to use these photos. So I just grabbed some green and some red embellishments and just kind of went for it. Oh, and some kind of neutral colors. So I think it really worked, and it was easy. It was simple. I didn't have to think a lot about it. And I'm really glad that I got them done. So I may go back and do just a tiny bit of journaling about some of these, but I kind of liked that it was just left blank. I really liked the way it looked. So sometimes you don't need all the words, but that's me. Okay, so this is a layout that I did for the July Gossamer Blue kit, and the theme was travel. I mean, there was a lot of travel stuff in the kits that we received, and it was really perfect for Marshall's first class play because he did Rumpus in the Rainforest. And so I used some Explore and this this world, this globe little sticker, and just the geotags and all the, the little things to make it feel like you're transformed to the rainforest. Because honestly, I don't have like monkey stickers or snake stickers or embellishments or anything like that. So really it worked out nicely. And my little dude had 2 speaking parts. So he was the narrator and he played the explorer. And he did so well. So I think he's going to be acting. He's acted in a couple of my husband's movies, so he's definitely a natural. Okay, so the other side of this is another full page layout that I did for the July kits, and I basically just threw up embellishments. But I made it pretty, right? It's much prettier than cleaning up actual throw up, right? Okay, that was really gross. Sorry about that image. So this was basically, I just felt like I was putting together a puzzle. It was really fun. I started with the photo and I pulled out all the embellishments from all the different kits that I got and picked out the things that were blues and pinks and grays, really is what I was going for. And then if it had a little kick of yellow in it, then I used it. So that's where the theme came from, was just pulling from the girls' dresses. And this is to represent just a little goodbye. Marshall's 2 best friends, their family are missionaries. And so they go overseas every summer. And it's always sad because they have so much fun and they spend so much time together during the school year. It's very difficult for them to say goodbye. But we have to say goodbye. And this was perfect to basically tell them to have a fun journey, to explore and to enjoy the moments that they get, being in places that they've never been before. So, and then on the other side was just a couple extra photos of them from the day being silly and hugging it out. So, and just saying their goodbyes. So anyway, that is what I can share so far, and I have so many other layouts. I've got, I think I'm already through week 25, so I'll be sharing those probably next month. I think that, I think I can do these every month. It seems like that's about how often I share these. So, I'm not going to make it on a specific schedule just because I don't always have the time. Like right now, the only reason I'm able to do this is because all of the boys are gone right now and Charlie's outside and it's quiet and it's a weekend. So all of those things have to be perfect in order for me to film anything, really. But I really enjoy sharing. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that you create something awesome for yourself too. We will talk real soon. Bye, guys.